I need to set a scene for you. And I guarantee, I absolutely promise you have been in this exact same scenario recently.
Oh, I'm sure we all have.
Right. So you were walking into a room, maybe it's your kitchen late at night, and you're just, stepping in to get a glass of water.
Sure, just a quick trip.
Exactly. For me, it was walking right here into the studio about 20 minutes ago. You turn on the light, and there it is.
The intruder.
Frozen on the baseboard. 8 legs, just way too many eyes,
Yeah.
a spider.
Right.
And my immediate, unthinking, completely visceral reaction, even though I literally spent the entire morning researching their neurotoxic peptide structures for this very deep dive.
Let me guess. You gasped.
I gasped, I grabbed my shoe, and I yelled, "You!"
Yeah, it is the universal, almost inescapable human reflex.
It really is. I couldn't stop myself.
That raised shoe, the racing heart. It's that absolute lizard brain certainty that this tiny creature is somehow a threat.
Even though it's like a fraction of my body mass.
Exactly. It's an immediate mortal threat to your existence in your mind. It's your amygdala, completely overriding your prefrontal cortex.
Oh, completely overriding it. I was ready for battle. I was holding that sneaker like it was the hammer of Thor or something.
Just ready to strike.
Just pure, ancient, curious child energy mixed with absolute disgust. Ew, ew, ew. Get it away from me.
Which is funny, considering the topic today.
It's so funny, like how all our rationality just evaporates the second we see those legs move.
Which is exactly when I had to step in, physically lower your arm, and politely ask you to put the shoe down.
You did. You were very calm about it.
Well, someone had to be. And that is exactly what we are asking you, the listener, to do today. Put the metaphorical shoe down.
Because my reaction, as natural and evolutionarily hardwired as it felt, was entirely wrong.
Completely backward.
And that brings us to the mission of our deep dives today. We're looking at a really fascinating collection of sources about the secret superpowers of spiders.
Superpowers is definitely the right word for it.
Right. And let me tell you, understanding what these creatures are actually doing completely shatters that instinctual E factor.
It changes everything.
We are going to examine the biology, the ecology, and the absolutely mind-bending bioengineering of these animals.
It's incredible stuff.
I promise you, by the time we finish this conversation, that creepy crawly feeling you get when you see a web in the corner of your room,
it's going to be totally gone.
It's going to be replaced by total, unadulterated awe. We are taking the spider out of the horror genre and putting it right into the superhero category.
I love that framing.
So, okay, let's unpack this.
Let's start by setting the record straight, fundamentally, about what we are actually looking at when we see a spider.
Because we usually just lump them in with everything else, right?
Exactly. That initial revulsion we feel often stems from a fundamental misunderstanding of their identity. Because spiders are not insects.
Right. They get grouped into the bug category.
But they are arachnids. And the reason that distinction matters isn't just to be, pedantic about taxonomy.
Because my initial thought when I'm standing there with the shoe is, wait, what does it matter if it's an insect or an arachnid?
Right. A bug is a bug.
Exactly. If it is creeping across my floor, scurrying under my couch, it is a bug.
But what's fascinating here is understanding an evolutionary divergence that happened roughly 400 million years ago.
400 million?
Yeah, so when you actually look at the evolutionary history, grouping them together with roaches or ants is kind of absurd.
Absurd.
It's like looking at a human and a shark and saying, well, they both move around, so they're basically the same thing.
Oh, wow. Okay, that puts it into perspective.
Right. When we use the colloquial umbrella term bug, we group creatures that are fundamentally alien to one another.
So what's the actual physical difference then?
Well, insects have a 3-part body, right? Head, thorax, abdomen. They have 6 legs, and they often have wings.
Okay, sure. Like a fly or a bee.
Exactly. And they are incredibly social, highly adaptable scavengers and herbivores in many cases.
Like ants at a picnic.
Exactly. Spiders, on the other hand, have a 2-part body, the cephalothorax and the abdomen.
Right, they look kind of like 2 little spheres stuck together.
Yeah, and they have 8 legs, no wings, and this is crazy. They move those legs not just with muscle, but with a complex hydraulic system.
Wait, hydraulic like a bulldozer?
Exactly like a bulldozer, but using their own blood pressure?
You are kidding me? They pump blood into their legs to extend them.
They do. It's called hemolymph. And that's actually why they curl up when they die.
Oh my gosh, because the blood pressure is gone.
Right, the hydraulics just fail and the legs pull inward.
That is so weird, but also kind of amazing.
It is. They are highly specialized, mostly solitary, obligate carnivores.
Meaning they only eat meat.
Right. And the crucial point here, and this is from our sources, is that for the vast, vast majority of the 35,000 plus known species of spiders,
Yeah.
they are completely harmless to humans.
Harmless, even though they look so menacing.
Entirely. They are unequipped and totally uninterested in bothering us. They simply want to be left alone to do their highly specific ecological job.
And their desire to just be left alone to do their job. I was actually thinking about this when I was watching the one in the studio.
Oh, yeah. What did you think?
Well, makes them sound like a grumpy, misunderstood teenager.
A teenager.
You know the exact type.
Yeah.
They just want to stay in their room, close the door, blast their music, and work on their computer without their parents coming in and bothering them.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah.
Like they aren't trying to ruin the house. They just want their own little dark corner to hyper-focus on their specific tasks.
That is actually a remarkably accurate analogy for their ecological niche. They really are the ultimate hyper-focused introverts of the natural world.
Just doing their own thing.
Right. And why that distinction of being a harmless focused worker is so critical for us to grasp is because our fear, that shoe-wielding panic, is largely unearned.
Because we associate them with actual bad pests.
Exactly. We've conflated them with actual pests. Roaches spread disease vectors in our kitchens.
Ugh, yes. Roaches are the worst.
Termites eat the literal foundation of our homes. Mosquitoes actively hunt us for our blood.
So they are actually out to get us, or at least our stuff.
Yes. But we've assigned the spider the villain role just because they look strange to us.
The 8 legs and the eyes, it's purely cosmetic discrimination.
It really is. Because their job is entirely beneficial.
Yeah.
We need to stop framing the spider as a home invader.
Okay, so how should we frame them?
We need to start looking at them as an unpaid, highly effective roommate.
An unpaid roommate.
Think about it. A roommate who never leaves their dishes in the sink, never eats your food, and actually cleans up the house while you sleep.
I mean, I've definitely had worse roommates in college.
Well, y'all have.
I love that.
Yeah.
But it begs the question, if they are just hanging out, keeping to themselves, wanting to be left alone in the corner,
What are they doing?
yeah, what exactly is the job description? What is this grumpy teenager actually doing on their computer all day that is so beneficial to the house?
The job description is nothing less than being the world's primary pest controllers.
Primary, like the main ones.
The main ones. And when we say primary, we aren't exaggerating. A single spider can eat hundreds of tiny bugs every single year.
Hundreds. Just one spider.
That's one. And when you extrapolate that across the global spider population, the numbers become difficult for the human brain to truly process.
Okay, hit me with the numbers. How much are they eating?
Ecologists estimate that the global spider population consumes somewhere between 400 million and 800 million tons of prey every year.
Wait, tons, not bugs, tons of bugs.
Tons. 800 million tons of insects.
I have to stop and get incredibly excited about the sheer mathematics of that.
It's hard to wrap your head around, isn't it?
Because we aren't talking about giant animals. We were talking about creatures that mostly weigh fractions of a gram.
Tiny little things.
And collectively, they're eating a mountain of biomass the size of, I don't know, thousands of aircraft carriers.
To put that in perspective, all the humans on Earth consume about 400 million tons of meat and fish annually.
Wait, are you serious?
Yes. Spiders are eating the equivalent weight of the entire human population in insects every single year.
That completely changes how you view the ecosystem.
Doesn't it?
It's like, imagine the planet has an immune system.
Okay, I like where this is going.
We think of our bodies having white blood cells
Mhm.
that constantly, silently circulate through our veins, right?
Fighting off infections before we even know we're sick.
Exactly. Spiders are the planet's ultimate invisible immune system. They are out there, around the clock, fighting off infections.
Which, in this ecological model, are the pests.
Right. The massive swarms of mosquitoes and crop-destroying aphids, they are the white blood cells of the Earth.
The immune system analogy is incredibly precise, especially when you look at the specific threats they neutralize based on the sources we're reviewing.
Because they aren't just eating random harmless bugs, right?
No, spiders primarily target two very distinct vulnerabilities in human society.
Yep.
Our food supply and our health.
Okay, let's break that down. Food supply first.
Let's look at agriculture. Aphids, caterpillars, armyworms.
The bane of every farmer's existence.
Precisely. These are insects that feed on the phloem, the nutrient-rich sap of plants. They can decimate a crop in days.
Just chew right through a field.
And spiders, both the web-building varieties that passively catch flying pests and the active hunters like wolf spiders that patrol the soil, they are the frontline defense against these herbivores.
So they are basically guarding the tomatoes.
Yes. Without them, the crops that sustain human civilization would be under constant, overwhelming siege,
And then there's the human health side.
which is arguably even more critical.
Because the other major target they're neutralizing are flies and mosquitoes. And if you look at the historical data, mosquitoes are literally the deadliest animal on the planet to humans.
By a massive margin, they spread malaria, dengue, Zika.
So the spiders are actively hunting the things that hunt us.
Exactly. Now think about the reproductive rate of a mosquito or a housefly.
Oh, it's fast, isn't it?
It's exponential. A single female housefly can lay 500 eggs in her lifetime.
500. From one fly.
Yes. And under ideal conditions, if all her descendants survived and reproduced,
Oh, no.
within a few months you would have trillions of flies from that single ancestor.
Trillions. With a T.
With a T. I want you to just imagine the compounding effect if that invisible immune system, those spiders eating 800 million tons of bugs, just wasn't there to prune the population.
It would be chaos.
The sheer volume of flies and mosquitoes that would exist if just one spider's yearly quota survived and reproduced is staggering.
It's purely a numbers game. And the spiders are the only thing keeping the math in our favor.
They hold the line.
And you know what really strikes me about that idea of them being the primary pest controllers?
What's that?
It completely exposes our human arrogance.
Oh, absolutely. How so?
Because we think we are the primary pest controllers.
We do. We take all the credit.
We have our massive industrial chemical sprays, our bug zappers humming on the back porch, those little citronella candles we put out at barbecues.
The exterminator vans driving around the neighborhood?
Right. We think we are managing the situation,
Right.
but we aren't doing the heavy lifting. Not even close.
Not by a long shot.
If spiders are eating 800 million tons of bugs, our bug zappers are barely a rounding error.
A drop in the bucket.
They're the ones actually keeping human diseases at bay, and we don't even pay them for it. We just scream at them and hit them with a sneaker.
We do. We reward our primary protectors with a rolled-up magazine. It's a bit tragic,
It really is.
but understanding the staggering volume of their consumption naturally forces us to ask a rather terrifying biological question.
Oh, I know where this is going.
If they are the primary mechanism keeping these pest populations in check, acting as the Earth's white blood cells...
What happens if the white blood cells disappear?
Exactly. What happens if that immune system suddenly shuts down? What if spiders vanish entirely?
Oh, man. This is where we go into the darkest timeline from our sources, the no spider catastrophe.
It is a bleak, bleak scenario.
Because if spiders went extinct tomorrow, the Earth wouldn't just be, like, slightly more annoying with a few extra gnats around.
No, it's not an inconvenience. It's an existential threat.
We would face global famine.
Complete agricultural collapse.
And not in a century. Not in decades. The ecological models suggest this would happen within months.
Let that sink in. Months.
Insects would multiply so rapidly, unconstrained by their primary predator, that they would literally cover the Earth,
A crawling carpet.
devouring all of our fruits, vegetables, and grain crops.
Everything green.
The resulting world is described in the text as a very buzzy, itchy, and hungry place. And I have to tell you, I am fully embracing the horror comedy of this scenario.
Horror comedy.
Yeah, because it's literally a zombie apocalypse. But instead of the undead dragging their feet through the streets, it's just trillions and trillions of hungry flies and locusts darkening the sky.
That is a deeply visceral image. But calmly dissecting the mechanics of this apocalypse shows exactly how incredibly fragile our global ecosystem is.
How does it actually play out step by step?
Well, it is a rapid, unforgiving domino effect. Step 1, the sudden absence of spiders.
Okay, spiders are gone. Poof.
Step 2, the immediate, unchecked, exponential multiplication of insects.
Because nothing is eating them.
Exactly. You remove the top-down pressure, and the survival rate of plant-eating insects skyrockets.
Right.
Step 3, the absolute unrestricted consumption of the global fruit and vegetable supply.
Just a total wipe out of the food.
And the timeline of within months is the factor that should really give us pause.
Because it's so fast.
We aren't talking about a slow, gradual environmental degradation where we have time to engineer a solution or build a giant dome.
We couldn't science our way out of it in time.
No. We are talking about falling off a cliff edge. Plant life simply cannot regenerate fast enough to outpace the consumption rate of unchecked herbivorous insects.
Within months. Think about that for a second. You go to your local grocery store,
A normal Tuesday errand.
right? You walk into the produce section.
Hmm.
Usually it's this beautiful, abundant display of colors,
Mm.
right? The apples, the lettuce, the peppers, the rows of corn.
Always fully stocked.
Now imagine walking in and it is completely wiped out. Just empty shelves.
And not because of a bad harvest.
Right. Not because of a supply chain issue with cargo ships or trucks, but because an unstoppable biblical wave of bugs has devoured the actual plants down to the root before the food could even be picked.
And the sensory details of that reality really bring the apocalypse home.
Buzzy, itchy, and hungry.
Exactly. It wouldn't just be the gnawing ache of global hunger. The world would be buzzy and itchy.
Ugh, just saying it makes my skin crawl.
That makes it uncomfortably real, doesn't it? It
Yeah.
forces you to imagine the constant, deafening auditory drone of trillions of wings competing for space in the air.
Like standing next to a hornet's nest, but everywhere.
It forces you to feel the physical sensation of flies and mosquitoes constantly landing on your skin, searching for moisture or blood.
Oh, stop. That is awful.
The sheer density of insect life would alter the very air we breathe.
You probably breathe them in.
You probably would. It's not just an agricultural collapse. It's a complete degradation of the human physiological experience. Searing hunger, accompanied by the maddening, inescapable physical torment of an unchecked insect population.
Buzzy, itchy, and hungry.
Mm.
It's like the worst humid summer camping trip imaginable, but it's the entire planet, and it never ends.
A perpetual nightmare.
But here's the thing that makes this ecological collapse even more complex.
It gets worse.
It does. Because it's not just our human food supply that would vanish. Spiders aren't just the ultimate predators of the micro world.
Right. They are also prey.
Exactly. They are heavily featured on the menu for everything else.
Precisely. We have to look at their keystone role from both directions of the trophic pyramid.
Up and down the food chain.
Spiders are a massively vital food source for a huge array of wildlife. Birds, lizards, amphibians, and small mammals rely on spiders for a highly concentrated source of protein.
They're like little protein bars for nature.
They are, and they provide essential nutrients like taurine, which is crucial for the development of certain bird species.
So the baby birds need them to grow.
Yes. If spiders disappeared, it wouldn't just be the insects exploding in population. The animals that rely on spiders would face immediate starvation.
Which causes a complete structural collapse of the entire food web.
So what does this all mean?
Well, I was trying to visualize this whole system, and I realized my earlier thought about them being an unpaid roommate was a bit too small.
That too domestic.
Yeah, because when you look at the food web, spiders are really the ultimate middle management of the natural world.
Okay, expand on middle management. I like this.
Well, instead of pushing papers, they're managing the flow of biological energy.
Right.
Think about a massive corporation. You have the interns at the bottom. Those are the insects, the pests.
Highly energetic, constantly multiplying.
Exactly. There are millions of them.
Yeah,
And they cause absolute chaos if left unsupervised.
sure.
Then you have the top bosses in the corner offices, the birds, the mammals, the reptiles. They rely on the structure working smoothly to survive.
The executives.
Right. The spiders are the middle managers. They keep the interns in check, actively preventing them from destroying the company's assets, the plants.
And at the same time.
Simultaneously, they are the ones providing the necessary reports, or in this case, the highly concentrated caloric energy up the chain to keep the bosses fed.
That is brilliant.
If middle management disappears, the whole company immediately goes under. The top bosses starve to death because the energy flow stops, and the interns take over the building and eat all the drywall.
That perfectly captures the dual tragedy of a spiderless world, and it illustrates the true mechanical definition of a keystone species.
Because everything hinges on them.
If we connect this to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
it's a two-front systemic collapse.
Right, from the bottom up and the top down.
On one front, the bottom of the pyramid expands outward uncontrollably as the pests multiply and consume the primary producers, the vegetation.
The interns eating the drywall.
Exactly. On the other front, the top of the pyramid collapses inward. The beautiful wildlife we actually enjoy seeing in our gardens, the songbirds, the geckos, the tiny field mice,
The executives?
they completely starve because the vital energy bridge connecting the insect biomass to the larger vertebrate predators has vanished.
The middle managers are gone.
It highlights how incredibly fragile the food chain is. The entire balance of nature, all that immense crushing weight of the ecosystem, is resting heavily on these tiny hydraulic eight-legged shoulders.
They are literally the load-bearing pillars of the natural world.
That's exactly what they are.
If you pull the spider out, the roof caves in on the birds, and the floor falls out from under our food supply.
A total structural failure.
So, okay, they're saving our environment, they're preventing human starvation, they are keeping disease vectors at bay.
Like the resume.
Honestly, that alone is more than enough to make me deeply regret every time I've grabbed my shoe.
I should hope so.
But here is where we pivot, because we are moving from ecology to cutting-edge technology.
Oh, this is my favorite part.
Their superpowers aren't just limited to playing defense in the natural ecosystem. Their actual biology is so advanced, it's actively inspiring human science in a massive way.
It is a remarkable pivot. We are entering the realm of biomimicry.
Biomimicry, copying nature.
Specifically, what researchers refer to as spider tech.
Spider tech. Sounds like a comic book gadget.
It sounds like it, but it's real science. And the crown jewel of this research centers around a material that is almost hard for the human brain to comprehend in its mechanical properties: spider silk.
Right, the webs.
It is definitively one of the strongest, toughest materials in nature. In fact, on a pound-for-pound basis, spider silk is stronger than steel.
Okay, stop. Stronger than steel.
Stronger than steel. And because of this unprecedented combination of strength and elasticity, material scientists and bioengineers are desperately studying it to create next-generation technologies.
Like what kind of tech?
Infinitely better medical bandages, ultra-lightweight bulletproof vests, and even biocompatible artificial tendons for humans.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Bulletproof vests from spider silk.
Yes.
I have to push back here, just from a purely practical, everyday human standpoint.
Go for it.
Because I was looking at the tensile strength numbers in our sources, and it's mind-bending. But how is this practically possible?
It seems contradictory, doesn't it?
It really does. I have literally walked through a spider web in my backyard between two trees and just swiped it away with my bare hand, barely feeling it.
Just brushed it off your face.
Yeah. I've taken a cheap plastic broom and cleared a web out of a corner in 2 seconds. How can something I can so easily destroy with a casual wave of my hand be stronger than industrial steel? It feels like a massive physical contradiction.
It is a brilliant question, and it's the exact paradox of scale that confuses almost everyone when they first hear this statistic.
Okay, help me understand the paradox.
When material scientists state that spider silk is stronger than steel, they are talking about its properties on a molecule-for-molecule cross-sectional basis.
Meaning you have to compare apples to apples.
You have to equalize the playing field to understand the physics. Imagine a single strand of structural steel that was drawn out to be exactly the same microscopic thinness as a single thread of dragline spider silk.
And how thin is that?
Often less than a tenth of the thickness of a human hair.
Oh, wow. Basically invisible.
If you took those two identical microscopic threads, one steel, one silk, and applied tension to them,
If you pulled on them.
the spider silk would be able to withstand significantly more pulling force, absorbing exponentially more kinetic energy before finally snapping than the steel thread would.
So the only reason I can swipe it away with my hand is because it's practically invisible. It's so thin. The total volume of material I'm breaking is almost zero.
Precisely. You are breaking a microscopic amount of material. But if you were to somehow weave dragline spider silk into a braided rope, the thickness of a standard pencil,
A pencil-thick rope of spiderweb.
the math dictates that rope could theoretically catch and stop a fully loaded commercial Boeing 747 jet in mid-flight.
Wow. Okay, that entirely reorients my brain. A pencil-thick rope stopping a commercial jet.
It's astounding.
So the engineering challenge is all about taking that microscopic molecular tensile strength and scaling it up into a usable human product.
That's the billion-dollar question.
And the biochemical mechanics of how the silk actually achieves this are fascinating.
Oh, the chemistry is beautiful.
Because if you look at a steel cable, it's strong, but it's totally rigid. If you bend it too far, it snaps.
Right, it has high tensile strength, but very low elasticity.
But spider silk is a protein called spidroin.
Spidroin, yes.
And it's utilizing these complex molecular structures amorphous chains that allow it to stretch up to 40% of its length without breaking.
Like a rubber band.
Combined with these highly organized crystalline beta sheets that give it structural rigidity.
Like structural rebar in concrete.
It's the combination of extreme elasticity and extreme strength that makes it a miracle material?
You've hit on the exact holy grail of material science. Usually in engineering, you have to choose between strength and flexibility.
You can't have both.
Right. Steel is strong but rigid. Nylon is flexible but lacks structural load-bearing strength.
But spider silk has both.
Spider silk possesses both simultaneously, and that's why the medical applications you mentioned are so revolutionary.
Like the bandages.
Better bandages make perfect sense. A mat is a hyper-strong, flexible, naturally antimicrobial thread that doesn't trigger a severe immune response in the human body.
Because it's a natural protein.
Right. And bulletproof vests utilizing that scaled-up kinetic energy absorption to stop a ballistic projectile while remaining as light as a t-shirt.
Instead of wearing those heavy ceramic plates.
Exactly. But the application that truly represents a paradigm shift is the development of artificial tendons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because think about the brutal mechanical requirements for a human tendon.
It's one of the toughest jobs in the body.
It connects your muscle to your bone. It has to be incredibly flexible, allowing you to run, jump, stretch, and twist.
Constant motion.
But it also has to be phenomenally strong to withstand the constant, violent wear and tear of physical exertion without snapping.
Think about a professional tennis player or basketball player. The torque is immense.
When people tear an ACL or an Achilles, repairing it is notoriously difficult.
Yeah.
If we try to use synthetic plastics or metals, they eventually break down or the body rejects them.
Because the human body is a highly corrosive, highly dynamic environment.
Right.
But spider silk, being a natural protein, is inherently biocompatible.
So the body doesn't fight it.
Imagine an artificial tendon implanted inside a human knee, made entirely of synthesized braided spider silk.
That would be amazing.
It would be flexible enough to allow a full range of motion, strong enough to withstand the torque of a professional athlete sprinting, and it wouldn't be rejected by the immune system.
It could completely revolutionize orthopedic surgery and human longevity.
It absolutely could.
But there is a massive catch here, isn't there?
Yes. The production problem.
Because we can farm silkworms. We've been doing that for thousands of years to make silk shirts.
Very easily, yes.
You just put a bunch of silkworms in a box with mulberry leaves, and they happily spin their cocoons together.
Very peaceful little workers.
But you can't farm spiders.
You cannot. Spiders are, by their very nature, highly territorial, predatory, and cannibalistic.
So they don't play well with others.
If you put 10,000 spiders in a room to harvest their silk, you won't get a silk factory.
What do you get?
You will eventually just get one very large, very well-fed spider.
Oh, wow. Just a battle royale until one is left.
Exactly. Highlander rules, there can be only one.
Right. So to get this material, to actually make these artificial tendons or bulletproof vests, scientists have had to go to the absolute leading edge of genetic engineering.
We had to get incredibly creative.
They aren't milking spiders. They've actually mapped these specific genes responsible for producing spedroin proteins.
DNA code for the silk.
And they're splicing those spider genes into other organisms.
This is where it sounds like science fiction.
They have literally engineered transgenic goats that produce spider silk proteins in their milk.
The spider.
Spider goats. They milk the goat, extract the spider protein from the milk, and spin it into fiber.
It's unbelievable.
Or they use bioengineered yeast to ferment the proteins in massive vats, like brewing beer, but you're brewing liquid spider silk. It is pure science fiction happening right now.
It is a testament to how valuable this natural technology is that we are willing to invent transgenic agriculture, literally modifying goats just to replicate a fraction of what the spider does naturally.
Just to copy them.
But as astonishing as the silk is, it isn't even the most complex piece of spider tech we are studying.
There's more.
We also have to look at the other end of the spider's biological arsenal, their venom.
Okay, the venom.
Biomedical researchers are currently mapping the complex peptides in spider venom to create groundbreaking new medicines for severe heart conditions and chronic pain relief.
Now, this requires such a massive psychological reframing for me.
I can imagine.
Because when we hear the word venom, we immediately, instinctively associate it with danger, toxicity, pain, and death.
It's practically a synonym for poison.
It's the primary reason people fear spiders in the first place, the fear of the bite.
Right.
But when you actually look at the biochemistry, venom is not just a single blunt force poison like a drop of acid.
Not at all.
It is an incredibly sophisticated, highly complex chemical cocktail that has been refined by millions of years of evolutionary trial and error.
It is evolutionary R&D at its finest. A single drop of spider venom can contain hundreds, sometimes thousands, of distinct specific peptides and small proteins.
Thousands of different ingredients in one drop.
And these compounds aren't just meant to blindly destroy tissue. They are precision engineered to target highly specific biological functions, mostly within the nervous system.
Right, because the spider uses it to rapidly immobilize a very specific type of buzzing, thrashing insect.
You have to act fast if you're a spider.
If you are a tiny spider and you catch a massive beetle in your web, you need to shut down its nervous system instantly before it breaks your web or injures you.
It's a matter of survival.
You don't want to kill it slowly. You want to turn off its control panel. It's precision-engineered paralysis.
And that precision is exactly what human pharmacologists are looking at.
How so?
They are realizing they can harness that pinpoint accuracy for human medicine.
But insects and humans are so different.
You'd think so, but our nervous systems and insect nervous systems share a surprising amount of underlying architecture.
Really? Like what?
Specifically things like voltage-gated sodium channels and calcium channels.
Okay, what are those?
They are essentially the microscopic electrical gateways that allow nerves to fire and send signals throughout the body.
Ah, okay. The wiring.
If a specific peptide in a tarantula's venom has evolved to perfectly fit into and paralyze a specific nervous system receptor in a fruit fly.
Like a key fitting into a lock.
Exactly. Researchers can isolate that exact peptide.
And this is where the medical breakthroughs happen. Because if you can isolate that peptide and properly dose it, you might be able to use it to block a pain receptor in the human nervous system.
That's the goal.
We are facing a massive global crisis with opioid addiction, right?
A terrible epidemic.
Opioids kill pain, but they also flood the brain with dopamine, causing severe addiction, and they suppress breathing.
They are blunt instruments.
But scientists are looking at specific spider venom peptides that target the NaV1.7 sodium channel in humans.
Which is
The specific channel responsible for transmitting pain signals to the brain.
Right.
If you can use a modified spider venom peptide to block just that channel, you could create a completely non-addictive, highly effective painkiller that doesn't affect the rest of the brain.
It is highly targeted molecular therapy. It only turns off the pain, nothing else.
It's incredible.
And the cardiovascular applications are equally astounding. You mentioned heart conditions earlier.
Right, heart attacks.
Researchers in Australia have been studying the venom of the incredibly dangerous funnel web spider.
Oh, those are the really scary ones.
Very deadly. But they isolated a specific protein from its venom called Hi1A.
Hi1A, okay.
When a human has a heart attack, the blood flow to the heart stops, the tissue becomes highly acidic, and that acid sends a signal that causes the heart muscle cells to die.
It's a cascade of damage.
This peptide, Hi1A, specifically blocks the acid-sensing ion channels in the heart.
So it blocks the death signal.
Exactly. If administered after a heart attack, it effectively stops that death signal, preventing the massive tissue damage that usually follows cardiac arrest. It extends the viability of the heart tissue, which could save countless lives and dramatically improve the viability of donor hearts for transplants. The venom holds the actual blueprints for these breakthroughs.
There is such a deep, beautiful irony there.
Isn't there?
The venom, the literal exact thing that makes us instinctively, primarily terrified of spiders. The fear of the poison, the reason we grab the shoe in the first place,
The ultimate boogeyman.
is the exact same molecular compound that might one day be sitting in an IV bag in an emergency room, actively saving our lives.
A lifesaver.
The thing we fear the most is the cure. That is just unbelievable.
It perfectly illustrates why we need to fundamentally change our perspective on the natural world.
We really do.
We look at a spider and see a pest. But in reality, we're looking at a creature possessing a level of natural nanotechnology, biochemical synthesis, and ecological engineering that the entirety of human science is currently struggling to catch up to.
Okay, I have to admit it. I have experienced a complete 180-degree psychological turn since we started this deep dive 20 minutes ago.
I'm glad to hear it.
The ew is completely gone.
Put the shoe away.
It has been totally and thoroughly replaced by, wow, if we just look at the resume we've built for them today based on the actual science,
Let's hear it.
they are armored, high-tech, disease-fighting, famine-preventing superheroes.
They really are.
They are the keystone species maintaining the structural integrity of the entire global food web.
The middle managers holding it all together.
They are protecting human agriculture from a buzzy, itchy, catastrophic insect apocalypse.
Saving our grocery stores.
And on top of all of that, their DNA is providing the literal blueprints for bulletproof vests, unbreakable artificial tendons, non-addictive painkillers, and revolutionary heart medicine.
It is a truly staggering resume for a creature that is often no bigger than a coin.
It's humbling, really.
And so the call to action for you, the person listening to this right now, is very simple.
Listen up, everyone.
The next time you walk into a room late at night, flip on the light switch and see a spider sitting quietly in its web in the corner or scurrying quickly along the baseboard.
Before you react.
Instead of reaching for a shoe, instead of letting that ancient, unthinking panic take over your brain, just pause.
Take a breath.
Take a breath, give it a little salute.
I love that. A little salute.
Acknowledge that you are looking at a vital biological operative doing the world's most thankless job, working tirelessly in the dark to keep you fed, healthy, and safe.
Put down the shoe. Give the salute. Let the unpaid roommate do their job in peace.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final lingering thought to mull over.
Ooh, leave us with something good.
Consider the economics of what we've discussed today.
Okay.
Human scientists, with all our advanced university degrees, our massive supercomputers, and our multi-million-dollar pharmaceutical and material engineering laboratories.
The best minds in the world.
We are spending vast fortunes and decades of research trying incredibly hard just to replicate the molecular structure of spider silk and spider venom.
We're just trying to copy them.
We are genetically modifying livestock just to get a fraction of their output.
The spider goats.
Yet this tiny creature, with a brain literally the size of a pinhead, manufactures stronger than steel fibers dynamically at room temperature and synthesizes highly complex, targeted medical cocktails naturally every single day, completely for free.
It just does it.
So think about this. If humanity had to invent a synthetic machine to do everything a single spider does, providing global agricultural pest control, manufacturing advanced biodegradable biomaterials, and synthesizing targeted neuromedicine.
If we had to build a robot to do all that.
Exactly. Could the global economy ever actually afford to build it?